The next two items will be presented together. Item number 5 is an application for a certificate of appropriateness in the Borough of Manhattan, docket number 15-1046, Block 545, Lot 21, 734 Broadway in the NoHo Historic District, a neo-Grec-style store building designed by D&J Jardine and built in 1872 to 73. The application is to construct a rooftop addition and install storefront infill, zoned M1-5B. This was, and then the next item is number 6, an application for a modification of use in bulk in the Borough of Manhattan, docket number 1047, Block 545, Lot 21, 737 Broadway in the NoHo Historic District, a neo-Grec style store building designed by D&J Jardine and built in 1872. The application is to request that the Landmarks Preservation Commission issue a report to the City Planning Commission relating to an application for a modification of use pursuant to Section 74-711 of the zoning resolution, Zone M1-5B. And this was initially heard.
Not
It
read
was
into the
heard
record.
December 17th, 2013.
And for the record, Commissioners Bland, Devonshire, and Perlmutter are recused from this item.
Okay, hearing is open with a motion and a second. Please, thank you. Okay.
Good morning, Commissioners. Corey Harrell, Preservation staff. This application was presented at a public hearing back in December of last year. It is being filed in conjunction with a request that the Commission issue a report to the City Planning Commission relating to an application for a modification of use pursuant to Section 74-711 of the zoning resolution, and this is seeking use changes, which could be described more if necessary. The property is located on the east side of Broadway, directly across from the intersection with Waverly Place, seen there as marked in red on the map. Here's existing condition photograph on the left, and the proposed rendering that you saw last time on the right. Proposal at the front facade, the Broadway facade, included removing the fire escape and restoring the cast iron facade in its entirety. That would include replacing missing elements, replacing windows, and installing new storefront infill, among other things. And at the rear facade, which you're not seeing here, demolishing existing rear extensions and constructing a new rear yard addition at the non-visible rear of the property. And that's full locked at the cellar level. At the rooftop, the applicant proposed constructing a 2-story addition that you see here, plus bulkhead and mechanical equipment above that, visible from Broadway to the south over the shorter adjacent building, and from Waverly Place over the primary facade for several blocks to the west of the site. The addition would require raising the south lot line facade, as you see here on the right, on the perspective image to the right, as well as raising the rear facade for those 2 stories. So the Commissioners supported the removal of the fire escape and the restoration and new work at the Broadway facade, as well as the rear yard addition, all as proposed. There was not a consensus with regard to the visible 2-story addition. Some Commissioners supported the addition as proposed. Some Commissioners wanted to see the 2nd story pulled back to reduce or eliminate its visibility. And some Commissioners could support only a 1-story addition. So the applicants have returned with a revised proposal focusing on the changes to the rooftop addition.
Good.
With that, I'll turn it over to Richard Bensky.
Okay. And based on, thank you, Corey. Based on what Corey just said in that last sentence or two, which pulling the alternatives, which one have you come forward here with?
We've come back with taking the 7th floor and pushing it back
Okay.
east. So we'll start with that.
Hold on. Yeah, name for the record, sorry.
Richard Bensky,
Yeah,
Fire.
I interrupted you, yeah. Go ahead.
So our proposal is to take the 7th floor, the 2nd floor of the rooftop addition, and pull it back to the east by about 58 feet. The prior addition was set back 15 feet, and so we'll pull it back an additional 42 feet from the 6th floor. Let's go to the next one. This shows the section through the prior scheme, which had the initial 23 feet from the cornice line. The 2nd floor was 15 feet, went straight to the rear yard. The next, this is our current proposal, which shows the 7th floor moved back 42 feet, which is outlined in red. Next one. This shows the facade of the original proposal, glass facade with glass fins in order to sort of dematerialize the new structure, the rooftop structure, and become a nice sort of backdrop to the cast iron facade. We're going to use the same materials, it's glass, has a little more metal because we have the bulkhead on top, both the elevator and the stair bulkhead, and then we just want to frame it with a metal bookend at the other side. This shows the rear facade as we had it before with the two-story addition in the rear, new one. This shows our proposed with glass on the 7th floor. The additional, on the 7th floor would be a screen for mechanical equipment in the rear. So we were able to remove all the mechanical equipment on the rooftop and place it in the rear. This shows the sightline study from the original proposal in December, and this is the sightline study for our proposal today. And let me just walk you around the building and make a comparison between the sightlines that we had.
Okay.
And the views from December to where we are today. This is directly across the street from the building, and again, you don't see anything in either view. This is back in December, and today, just catty corner off of Broadway, and again, you don't see anything on the rooftop. This is one block further back on Mercer, here on Waverly, so we're a block away. Again, that's what we had showed in December. This is where we are today. And what we did is I just blew up where we were, our prior proposal, where we are today. And again, you can see the difference in that, right, it's barely, the second story is barely visible. Just moving down Mercer to the other side of the street, December and May. And again, what happens is there's the setback, so it's not visible. Moving further back towards Green Street, December, May. And again, just the blow above it, you can see how it came down, minimally visible.
Is that 25 now, Ken?
23.
We're on page 23. Then moving further back towards University Place, looking directly at the building. There's the building right there. Proposed, existing, if you blow them up, again, now minimally visible up top, and it's below the finial. Next one. And again, going now to Washington Square, December, today, and then we blew them up. You can see the difference. Now it's moved down. There's a
So that's a
floor
blow up
always
from
like that.
5 or 6 blocks
If you
away.
had- If you had binoculars.
Yeah,
and a
yeah.
telephoto like
Got
you
it.
would
I
never
know that
see
block well. Okay, so, okay.
And then just a couple of other views from Washington Square Park.
Okay. Any questions? Now go to discussion, Michael.
I thought this was appropriate last time. I think it's better now.
Agreed. John?
I could support it.
Yeah, I could support it now that it's much smaller and less visible and no longer a two-story addition.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's minimally visible except from very far away, and I think it's really respectful of the landmark, and glad to see the building restored. And great.
I think it's better. I still think that it's visible. It's more than minimally visible, but I guess I think that the building can take it.
Okay.
Dramatic
Mm-hmm.
view that it's disrupting the land.
Okay, and it is better, and therefore I feel able to support it. We got 2 of these things to do here now, so close the hearing. Motion second. I know, Libby. Joan, can you do the first one, please? Number 5.
In the matter of 734 Broadway, NoHo Historic District, a neo-Gothic style, let me put the microphone on, store building designed by D&J Jardin and built in 1872. Application is to construct a rooftop addition and install storefront infill. Noting that the building style, scale, materials, and details are among the features that contribute to the special architectural and historic character of the Soho Cast Iron Historic District, I recommend approval, finding that the replacement of the existing ground floor infill will eliminate unsympathetic alterations that detract from the significant architectural features of the building without causing the removal of any significant historic fabric, that the replication of the missing cast iron end piers and center columns will return the ground floor more closely to its historic appearance, that the elements of the new storefront infill, including painted, paneled wood bulkheads and wood frame display windows, and glazed entrance doors with transoms, all with a finish color to be determined by historic paint analysis, will be in keeping with storefronts historically found on buildings of this age and style. That the fire escape is not original to the building and does not have architectural merit in itself. Therefore, its removal will not diminish the architectural or historic character of the building or the streetscape. That removing the fire escape and attachments and repairing the penetration in the facade where it has been secured will eliminate possible areas of water penetration into the building and support restoration of the facade, thereby aiding in the long-term preservation of the building. That although the existing rear extension may be historic, it has been altered, and its proposed demolition will not result in the loss of significant historic fabric. That the proposed rear addition will not be visible from a public thoroughfare. That there is no central green space present in the existing rear yard configuration, and therefore the proposed full lot addition will not diminish the relationship of this rear yard to the others in the block. That the proposed excavation will be designed and built in compliance with DOB regulations under the supervision of a licensed professional engineer to protect the building and the adjacent buildings, and that the proposed work will not diminish the special architectural character of the building.
And then you just go right to the rooftop, right? We have to read this
Oh,
rooftop.
I'm sorry.
Yes, next thing.
Forgive me. With regard to the rooftop, we recommend approval, finding that the construction of rooftop addition setback from the front facade will not eliminate any significant architectural features, that although any addition would be visible to some degree, it would be predominantly visible from distant vantage points along Waverly Place and over the lot line wall, and that the proposed addition's design concept featuring a simply detailed glass curtain wall with concealed aluminum framing will minimize its presence and will diminish its impact upon the silhouette of the decorative cornice of the restored finials.
Second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? That's approved, and I'll do this next one. Libby's leaving in a moment. Modification use in bulk. Item 6, 734 Broadway, NoHo Historic District. Recommend approval of this application for finding that the restorative work and additional work to be approved pursuant, the restorative work and additional work to be approved pursuant to an LPC permit, including restoring existing and missing features at the primary facades, including cast iron columns, metal cornices, and wood windows and storefronts, will help return the building closer to its original appearance. The work will bring the building up to a sound first-class condition, aid in its long-term preservation. The implementation of a cyclical maintenance plan will ensure continued maintenance of the building in a sound first-class condition. That the owners of the designated building have committed themselves to establishing a cyclical maintenance plan legally enforceable by LPC under the provisions of a restrictive deck, which will bind all heirs, successors, and assigns, and which will be recorded at the New York County Registrar's Office.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? That's approved as well. Thank you.